First of all, to recognize the esteemed members of the judiciary who are here today. A large number of you have shown up to hear this lecture, and I want to thank you for coming to be with us today. So welcome. I also wish to welcome and thank the distinguished guests, in addition to the judges who have joined us today. I welcome all of you. And I in particular want to mention the folks from the Jackson Center in Jamestown who have come here today. The 2010-2011 edition of this lecture revisits a significant historical moment for UB law and what I like to think of the undying quest for human rights. We celebrate today a major address by U.S. Supreme Court Justice Robert H. Jackson, given at the University at Buffalo exactly some 65 years ago. Justice Jackson had taken a leave of absence from the U.S. Supreme Court to serve as the chief prosecutor at the International Military Tribunal in Nuremberg. That tribunal is commonly known as the Nuremberg War Crimes Tribunal. The tribunal, as you all know, was formed by the victorious Allies over the Axis powers after the defeat and surrender of the Nazis in the Second World War. Justice Jackson spoke at UB immediately after he returned home from that historic experience at Nuremberg. His speech, which resonates today, touched on a number of timeless themes, some of which we are reliving today. How a warlike spirit can overcome a nation. The quest for nations to work together cooperatively in the cause of peace. The interrelationships of war and dictatorship, and the supremacy of law over the lawless forces of war and persecution. However, as some of you may know, Justice Jackson had his detractors, none of whom was more important than his boss, Chief Justice Harlan Fisk's son, who attacked him, saying, and I quote, "So far as the Nuremberg trial is an attempt to justify the application of power of the victor to the vanquished, because the vanquished made aggressive war, I dislike extremely to see it dressed up with a false facade of legality. The best that can be said of it is that it is a political act of the victorious states, which may be morally right." He went on, "It would not disturb me greatly if that power were openly and frankly used to punish the German leaders for being a bad lot. But it disturbs me, some, to have it dressed up in the habiliments of the common law and the constitutional safeguards to those charged with crime." Jackson is away conducting his high-grade lynching party in Nuremberg. I don't know why the Chief Justice used the word lynching, but there he did. "I don't mind what he does to the Nazis, but I hate to see the pretense that he is running a court and proceeding according to common law. This is a little too sanctimonious a fraud to meet my old-fashioned ideas." End of quote. Of course, Justice Jackson's view and his life's work will be vindicated some 70 years later in 2003 in the establishment of the International Criminal Court, a permanent war crimes tribunal to try the most heinous crimes known to man. I leave it up to panelists to arbitrate between Justice Jackson and his boss, Helen Fisk Summer. This event today also marks a second anniversary as well, the 60th year of the Mitchell Lecture series, whose first installment featured none other than Justice Jackson, speaking in 1951 on the subject of wartime security and liberty and the law. It's a rich subject that we're going to be hearing today from our panelists, and I hope that we all participate fully.